BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.
Boys, we're back stronger with another pod, but before we get stuck in, I want to warn everyone.
Oh, hello.
Hello, what's going on here?
Well, you may hear some naughty words, so if they're not your thing, go and listen to like Desert Island Discs or something.
Was that it?
Desert Island what?
Discs.
I'm sure you said... Oh.
Back stronger. What the hell was that?
Oh, God, it's like bargain hunt.
Has Wayne Rooney got big shins?
But I genuinely have had a problem with Alsatians ever since.
What is Carl?
I've always wondered that.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
When you say dirty undies everywhere,
Banging music.
some kind of sex burglar.
It was so loud.
I've enjoyed that one massively.
That's about it. Hello, Chris Stark and Tom Fordyce are with me for another episode of That Peter Crouch podcast with me, Peter Crouch. Back in the pub, boys. Here we are.
Crouchy, you're wearing the usual sort of Crouchy uniform of grey. I'm wearing a black T-shirt. Chris, you're wearing a black top.
Winter is coming. I'm in my referee's kit here. It's great, this. Went to buy the referee's kit yesterday, and the girl that was there that was serving didn't know what a referee was.
There's not a huge demand. I don't see why she would know where they keep the referees' kits.
Chris, would you mind if I reached into your breast
Absolutely,
pocket?
yeah.
You've got a red card here.
Only got a red one.
Mike Riley's referee's shirt.
It was fascinating as well, since the last podcast has been a couple of matches, and everyone was messaging, talking about the different referees. So Mariner, it was the amount of Dr. Dre.
The traffic that was coming through. And everyone, millions of people were tweeting me just saying, can't believe Dre's refereeing this one.
I was watching that game and I couldn't hear the commentary. All I could hear in my head was bum, 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 bum.
Snoop Dogg.
Exactly.
No, it's great. I very much enjoyed last week. Very excited about doing today's podcast. And how is the acid jazz scene going at the moment, Foreskin? Because Jamiroquai as well. A lot of people saying that was acid jazz.
Apparently it was acid jazz, brand new heavies have backed it up as well.
I'm wondering, at the end of this series, Chris, when we get to what we might call our Samrat moment, if we're going to have some sort of acid jazz representation there, maybe one of the great bands from the scene or a DJ.
Well, listen, I think after the last podcast that we did about referees, we had a little chat about an idea that we could do as the sort of finale for this series.
Big, isn't it?
And it's ambitious.
It certainly is.
But I think it's really, really good. And I know you're excited about it.
I'm excited, yeah. I'm pleased with the idea.
Do you want to give us the name of it, Crouchy, the working title?
Crouch Fest.
See?
Crouch Fest.
It's out there now.
It's
One man, one festival, Crouch Fest.
Well, look, what I'm thinking like we could have an acid jazz stage. Mr. Islam can do a Samrat corner. Waka Carl.
That could be on,
Waka Carl. There's plenty of stalls we could have, people running them.
But we also, I think the idea with this will be that hopefully people get involved. So if you're listening to this and you think there's something you could offer Crouch Fest, it's like we're going to build this from the ground up. Might not happen. We haven't even got a place where we're going to do this thing yet. It's a pub idea that we're going to try and maybe run with.
Yeah, we're not challenging Glastonbury yet. We'll challenge Reading and Leeds.
Okay, we've got some messages in as always.
Jack says, a few years ago I went for a dip at Richmond Lido, only to see Harchester United's finest, Carl Fletcher, on lifeguard duty. When I built up the courage to ask him if he was Carl, he replied, "Yeah, I just do this between jobs. I've got an audition coming up tomorrow for a David Cronenberg movie." Does that sound realistic?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he's just going for an audition, isn't he? I mean, I could audition for the Spielberg film, couldn't I? Wouldn't mean I'm
True,
in it.
it doesn't mean you're in it.
Would
you trust a lifeguard called Carl? I wouldn't.
God, no. No, but I mean, his name is not actually Carl.
Oh, yeah,
that's his
good
name.
point. Back to the emails. I don't know how concerned we should be about this, but Hannah's got in touch to say, "Hi, Peter, Chris, and Tom. I've recently come across That Carl podcast.
Hey?
From the looks of it, they've badly ripped off your pod. Is this the uprising of the Carls?"
What's this?
Yeah, I've done a bit of digging into this, and this is the original Carl from Series 1. It's called That Carl podcast.
Do you like cornflakes?
I love cornflakes.
Do you like crunchy nut cornflakes?
No, there's a problem.
Why? Why is that a problem, Carl?
Because I like cornflakes. Why do I want bloody nuts in my cornflakes?
Right.
Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
If that's imitating us, I'm very worried about us.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. I think everyone should subscribe. and hit the 1-star review. Possibly leave him a little bit of grief on the comments.
Everyone's got a podcast nowadays, have you noticed? Even the Carls of the world.
Right, who are the undiscovered nuggets out there from your experience of football?
Plenty of nuggets out there.
Who
Fucking hundreds of them.
who should get a podcast out of people you've played with or you know in football?
Like Didier Mann would be, he'd have a good podcast. I think he should do one.
Why?
I don't think enough people know him as a character.
Yeah, I don't have a clue.
Exactly. Some of the stories he could tell would be incredible, and I think he would.
Would he tell them, though?
Yes.
So can we get Didier Man to Crouch Fest?
Yeah.
I've got a number for him on my phone there. Look,
There you go.
I can text him if you want.
How do you know him then? What's going on there?
This is the sort of thing a chief sports writer needs to have in his locker, Chris. You know, the numbers of former footballers don't really hear from very much these days.
Do you know, like, so you do cycling quite a bit, don't you?
Yeah.
Rugby.
I've seen him pop up on other podcasts as well. Do you
Yeah,
know about
really?
podcast
Yeah.
affairs? I saw him on some
Does
cycling
he?
thing. Yeah.
Cycling podcast.
Don't give me that face.
God, I don't even know you anymore.
Can't believe you're jealous, Crouch.
Cycle friends.
Ooh, foreskin.
Should we listen to some acid jazz foreskin?
Oh, it's
go
like that,
on.
is it?
All right, boys. Robert's message says, love that story about Jeff Winter on the Refs pod. Crouchy mentioned that he used to have a T-shirt with Kalina's face on it. I was wondering if it's the same T-shirt I still have. I've attached a pic.
He's done a full Jeff Winter.
That's it.
Oh, that's amazing.
The beauty of any winter pose is that you only wear the T-shirt,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's angled that mirror beautifully to show us. I mean, it's his
I wonder who's taking that
His
photo.
left arse cheek.
Who's taking that
bit
photo?
of crack and a run.
I challenge you before the end of this
it is
series
good.
to do a winter pick up on your social.
Winter pic. I think that should be a thing, you know, like a selfie.
Yeah.
Just a winter pic.
I think you've got to be very careful how you take it if you're putting it on social media.
Well, yeah, you do have to be very careful because, you know, it's a minefield, isn't it?
Thanks to everyone who has been messaging us about Mike Dean. Obviously, we gave Mike Dean quite a lot of shouts on the Referees podcast. Here's a cracker from Sam. Sam says, did you know, in his spare time, Mike Dean caddies on the Ladies European Tour. He's caddied at the British Open. Do you know he plays off 5?
Does Mike Dean plays off 5?
You're not happy with this, are you? Because
What?
I know you don't think of him as a human being, but he has got so much in common with you. You two would be best mates. You love golf. Mike Dean loves golf. He likes Premier League football. You love Premier League football. He's not happy. He's not happy again, is he,
He
Chris?
hates it. He can't do it. Look, he's looking around for help.
I don't hate it. But this is another one of George's stats. He said that referees run 25 miles a game, whatever it is. And I reckon he doesn't play at 5.
You're saying
I'm
he's,
not saying
he's a
that.
referee, so he couldn't be good at golf.
Well, I don't know, because footballers are supposed to be good at golf, and I'm pretty crap.
He also caddied for a player called Sophie Walker. You're going to love this, Crouchy. Sophie Walker described him as the best yardage pacer she'd ever had.
Of course he is.
Of course, because he's always doing 10 yards. He's absolutely perfect as a caddy.
No way, that's nuts.
He
He's just going to like spray a line in front
Every-
of a ball. So.
Love that. Right, we've been absolutely inundated with offers for us to come and referee a match. So thank you to everyone. We've got so many offers that we can't really consider any more after this particular episode. But you up for this, Crouchy? Still
What-
go ref a game?
I can't really remember what we said. So what? I'm going to referee a game?
You're
Yeah.
reffing. Me and Chris are running the line, and George, producer
Oh,
George,
yeah,
is the
of
fourth
course,
official, so
yeah,
we can cop
yeah.
a load of abuse.
Yeah, I'm up for that. Yeah. I genuinely think it'd be harder than it looks. Champions League final,
That would be fine.
FA Cup final.
Not
Playoff
FA,
final?
Not the FA Cup. Actually, if I could ref the FA Cup final, that would work for me wonderful. That would be wonderful.
Crouch going for the spectacular. Oh, what a goal from Peter Crouch!
That Peter Crouch podcast from BBC 5 Live.
Right, if we're going to talk about the Champions League, I want to start us off with the Anthem.
It is a good song.
You say it's a good song. Right, I bet there's only one line in it that you actually know.
Champions.
What was that?
But I didn't want to like go all in. I just wanted to give you you know what I mean.
That was enough for me.
Do you know it's got a proper set of lyrics?
Has it?
Chris, do you know any other lyrics?
I
from the
don't
Right, okay.
Behold for the something.
The lyrics are split into 3 different languages. So you have a line in French, then you have a line in German, and then you have a line in English.
This is so insightful.
The first line of the first verse is French. Ce sont les meilleures équipes.
What does that mean?
These are the best teams, I think.
Okay, right.
Then you have Sie sind die allerbesten Mannschaften, all the best teams. Do you know what the English line is? How prosaic and dull.
Hang on. So the English one we should know, really. We should be able to nail that one.
The English line to follow that beautiful French poetry and that strict German is the main event.
The main event?
The main event.
That's it?
That's it, the main event. The second line, die Meister, die Besten. Okay, the Masters, the best. Les grandes équipes, the big teams. We get the champions. Bum, 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 bum.
Immediately, for me, what springs to mind is we're the Spanish.
Right, so this tune was written in 1992.
Yeah, Sampdoria Barcelona final where Koeman scored 1-0.
In extra time with a free kick.
Yeah, and it was my first European football match. And we went there, and God, what an amazing match! But 92, yeah, God, a long time ago. But.
And that was Barcelona's first Champions League / European Cup. So to be fair to this composer,
Incredible.
At that point, Real Madrid have won loads with Di Stefano, but it's not like he was writing it today, where he's thinking, do you know what? I better write all of this in Spanish.
Do you know what amazed me about that, though? I genuinely thought it was a really old traditional song. There's someone who's potentially even listening to this podcast, someone just knocking about, who's telling his mates in the pub, I banged out that song.
But you know, because it's so anthemic, isn't it? I mean, everyone knows. If you played that song now, everyone knows that's the football anthem, Champions League. But does he get royalties every time it's played?
Yes,
so at every game it's played.
Right, here you go. It's a guy called Tony Britton, and he adapted it.
Tony!
Great.
He adapted it from a Handel anthem, Zadok the Priest. I was approached to write something anthemic. It was just after the 3 tenors at the World Cup in Italy, so classical music was all the rage. He doesn't own the rights to the anthem, which are retained by UEFA, but he receives royalties whenever it is used.
Oh, so he does? Okay.
That's nuts. I can't believe this bloke exists. This is a character that's now come into my life that I feel like I need to meet.
Tony Britton.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But it's a massive tune, isn't it? Like everyone goes, you even hear players. I remember when I first played in the Champions League and I'm standing there and I'm listening to the music and I'm going, you feel like you've arrived?
Well, can you hear it properly?
Yeah, it's a big thing. When you're playing for England, you're singing the national anthem, that's a massive, massive moment. Well, in club football, I don't think there's a bigger moment than you lining up, against some of the biggest players and the best players in the world, the other side, in the biggest stadiums. And that music plays. It does make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up and you do get goosebumps.
Do you think it will last forever, that song? Do you think what Tony's made there is a song that it can't really get replaced in football?
Won't replace
the Champions League will always, surely it will always.
You won't replace that.
Is it a choir of children singing on it?
It's the choir from St Martin's in the Fields Church, I think, which is middle London, isn't it, by Trafalgar Square?
Right, that's great knowledge.
Do you know this shit?
Honestly, Tom, that is... You've got some great knowledge.
I can see why...
St Martin's Choir.
In what reason would you store that? So you've got such a weird brain, you have.
No, it's impressive. It's good. I've got a mate who can recite the entire real name of Neighbours characters.
You can do the whole of Snow's Informer.
But I mean, that's just a rap, isn't it? Sitting down, cool with my tippy-tippy girl. Police knock on the door. Lick up, my pal. Rough me up so I can't do a thing. Pick up the line when my telephone ring. Take me to the station. Fuck down my hands. Drill me down because I'm hanging with the snowman. What you gonna do? Back to the trap. Slap me in the face and to call him my cack. Had no clues and they want to get warmer. Sham won't turn informer.
There'll be some DJs listening right now, and I challenge you to bang that over a beat and send it in to us, please, and I'll ensure that it gets played out
on Radio 1.
I want that played anyway.
Oh, it's too late.
So how does the chorus go when he goes, Informer?
I don't know. I don't know the actual words. I just make that bit up.
Ya no say daddy me.
No, so daddy me.
Snow me, I go blame.
Yeah, like which is...
But then what do you do for the third line? That's the interesting bit.
I lick your bum down. Yeah. Is it not?
It's close.
Lick your bum day?
Yeah, it's not I lick your bum down. It's a licky boom boom down.
Oh, yeah. It's not far.
Yeah. Guys, if you're listening to the podcast right now and wondering what the clattering of... It's... me and Crouchy share a sort of similar palate when it comes to food.
Well, we've just gone for like chicken wings, like onion rings and chips there.
Yeah, Fordyce has got his olives and hummus and
listen, this is
so continental. Look. Is this what the cyclists have? Is it?
Oh, cyclist food, olives.
Do you want some hummus, G?
Oh, gee, smother me in hummus.
They threw me. Pass me the white bait.
That Peter Crouch podcast from BBC 5 Live.
The Champions League trophy, surely the sexiest one out there.
Well, it's the biggest prize in football for me. You know, I came close once upon a time.
Did you have you touched it? Yeah, that's what.
No, I didn't. Obviously, like you walk past it, don't you? On the.
You're not even tempted to give it a little tickle?
No, just sort of. Yeah, no, I didn't. It's so weird because that day I think about it and I think, you know, if I'd have won it, that's probably all I'd talk about, and you know, I'd probably get a Clattenburg tattoo on my arm. But then I've got the runners-up medal, and I don't even look at it. It doesn't matter. Like, I could just not have it. Pointless.
That runners-up medal fascinates me, Chris, because that runners-up medal would be one of the proudest things that I have. But for you, I mean, I'm surprised the way you're talking about it. You even brought it home.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever looked at it, or I couldn't even tell you where it was. It doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, the journey there was incredible. Like, I cannot even explain to you the journey we went on to get there. But losing, I mean, once we lost, it was just like, that was it. That was like, oh. I haven't watched it back since.
Do you not see it from an achievement point of view?
Getting there. So, you know, I could talk you through the qualifying games, the group stages.
Semi was amazing.
Semi was incredible against Chelsea. You know, Dirk Kuyt scored the penalty. I can tell you all about the night we got to the final. After the game, an electric night out in Liverpool. It was fantastic. Group games, you know, I scored quite a few goals as well. I think I got 6 or 7 goals on the route up to that final.
The only one who scored more than you in that campaign was Kaká, I think.
It was Kaká, yeah.
Really?
He got a couple in the final, yeah. So
Bad,
like me and
Chris,
Kaká sort of, yeah, it was like I was second top goal scorer, yeah, in that campaign. So that's why I was so gutted, really, not to play in the final. And it's one of those ones that sort of like, it just makes me so angry because even if he hadn't played me, I just feel like if Rafa had played Bellamy, just a forward.
So why didn't he pick you? If you scored all those goals all the way through.
I only found out on the in the team meeting just before we left for the stadium, you know. So I think I'd started every game in the run-up to the final.
Your parents had come over, or your mates had come over expecting to see you play?
Do you think people expected you then? Was that part of a letdown for you?
Everyone expected me to start, yeah.
You had to, I don't know, send a text or something or whatever and say like...
Oh, what a text to send, Crouchy.
It was a really...
Your dad saying, I'm not...
Did you text your dad?
Yeah, I used to text my dad always, like, if I'm in or out. But yeah, just disappointed. Because for me, I just felt that Milan team was there for the taking. And I think if we'd have gone out and all guns blazing, played 2 strikers or played a more attacking formation, we'd have gone out and beat them. I genuinely believe that.
Can I just very quickly go back to what you would have sent to your dad? Because I think that's an unbelievable situation. That you've gone from, you know, park football and all that and kick around with your dad to you messaging your dad in that stage of the Champions League and saying, Dad, I'm not starting.
Yeah.
He has a hell of a responsibility in what he texts you back at that point.
What did he say?
How the fuck's he playing ahead of you?
So you love that won't have changed for years. This might be too personal, so feel free not to answer it. If you win the Champions League, do you get more money?
Yeah. The money in the Champions League in bonuses is like, it's mega.
More than winning the league?
Far more.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because it reflects the money the club makes.
The money in the Champions League is huge for the club. Massive. Qualifying is, I mean, we know, like, attracting the players, like, it's the money goes through the roof in the Champions League, a whole different level. And the bonuses reflect that for players, yeah.
Do you get told that before, or is that something that gets set?
Yeah,
at the beginning of the season,
the bonuses will, like, in all honesty, the bonuses don't really affect a player unless you're in the Champions League. Certainly, when I was at Liverpool, I remember Jay Spearing, Darren Potter, Neil Miller, Stephen Warnock was coming through. Those young lads, when they got on the bench,
yeah,
the smile on their faces.
I bet.
Well, you know, these are young lads on not much, in football terms, and the bonuses in those, if they're on the bench in the group stages, or some of them in the knockout games they were on the bench, they didn't play, but they were part of a squad that the bonuses.
It's the same, is it? So Neil Mellor's sitting on the bench in the campaign which ends with Liverpool winning the Champions League in Istanbul. He gets the same bonus as Steven Gerrard.
Yeah. You could probably go back over it, right? So if you see some of the reactions of the players on the bench when a team has won in the Champions League, some of the celebrations are like they've won it. It's massive.
And that's what's going on in their personal. It's fascinating. I've never heard this. I've always wondered it.
It's like in a cartoon, Chris. When you see like the eyes of Bugs Bunny or something like that, and they just come up like a
dollar sign.
Exactly, yeah, like a fruit machine. Cha-ching,
cha-ching. That emoji, isn't it? The one where the money's coming out the mouth. That one. Is it? Do you get told the bonuses? Is this something that gets set out beginning of the season, or is this like as the Champions League goes on? Because I always wondered this about Leicester with the Premier League. Like, do you get incentivised as you're going through the tournament? So it's a bit like
if
someone
double,
calls you in for a meeting.
It pretty much double each time. So like if you win a game in the group stages, it'll be X. You get through to the group stages, it'll be doubled. You get through to the quarters doubled, semis doubled, final doubled.
Is there any point? Be honest with me now. Any point in any game where you have thought about the bonus rather than the result?
Not for 1 second. If they gave me like £1, it's never been an incentive for me at all.
Because a lot of football fans would wonder, because there's always stuff talked about money in football, and they would wonder what effect that actually has.
Do you know what it is, right? At the start of a season, right, we go, right, we've done well. Someone's earning a fortune off this. So usually the captain are going, right, you're earning this. We've sort of got us there. We think we should get this.
And does the captain then come and tell you guys?
We usually give the captain loads of grief and say, that's rubbish, go and ask for more.
Stevie G rolls in and says, right.
Well, probably wouldn't say it to Stevie. I was thinking more Ryan Shawcross.
That is a great question. Who would be the worst negotiator? Who would go in there?
No, I'm sure he'd have got us the best deal. That's fine. Well, he'd have got us there in the first place. Can't really argue.
Crouchy's done the robot again because it's 100 Premier League goals for Peter Crouch.
That Peter Crouch podcast from BBC 5 Live.
I would give anything to play in the Champions League, let alone the final.
Like for me, we won the FA Cup the year before, and I didn't think I could beat that. My dad was there in the crowd, and we won it, and that feeling of being able to lift that trophy, that was incredible. But then the next year, we got to a Champions League final, and it was like, so those memories will last with me forever. And that's when people ask me and say, what was your best time in football? Those 2006 and 2007 is hard to beat. I was scoring goals for England, playing well for Liverpool, and got to a Champions League final. And I was not far off being top goal scorer in the Champions League, and that's something that I can tell my kids. And when I look back on it, like now, I'm at the stage where I'm 38 and my sort of career's winding down, but I'll always have sort of those two. There was more than 2 years. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of memories that I've got, but having said that, I went to Tottenham and we had a great run. I mean that was just almost as spine-tingling.
That was giddy all the way through, wasn't it? Because Spurs hadn't had this great recent history of being in the Champions League.
Well, they hadn't had the history that
Liverpool had.
That Liverpool have had, but we were making history there. And the team we had, we had like Modric, Bale, Lennon, like Van der Vaart, like top players, like really good players. And we beat Milan in their backyard. We smashed Inter at White Hart Lane.
Can you remember the name of the team who you first played against in the Champions League? So
FC Kuhners.
There we go. I didn't think you'd get that, Chris. Who were from?
Austria.
No, nowhere close.
So I've actually got a plane there, stayed in a hotel and played against them, and I don't know where they're from.
Lithuania.
Yeah. Potato.
Spoken like a true Englishman there, Crouchy.
Landlocked Central European country, one of the Baltic states.
Do you know what? Honestly, though, it does not feel like you've even left the country because you go and you don't see any of it. Like the people that come over with me, I remember like my dad, he brought a few mates we played Estonia, and I remember my dad coming.
What a night out this sounds like.
So I'm having a cup of tea. Obviously, I've seen nothing. I've seen the plane, hotel, play the match, and we fly back again. So honestly, you don't even change time frames. You know, you just stay on English time and just. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking nothing of it. And my dad and his mates just came in for a coffee and just said, this is the best place we have ever been in our lives. And I went, what? Where are we? Like, we're in Tallinn, we were.
Yes.
I didn't see any of it. But they were like, you cannot believe how good this place is.
But you make it sound like Estonia. It sounds like could be a stag do. Didn't you go-karting?
We had a little break before we played Barcelona. So we went go-karting. Genuinely, we were going around and I thought, this will be funny. I'll fly into the pits and then slam on. And
it's always one on the stag.
Yeah, okay. So I flew into the pits, slammed on, and literally the brakes had gone. So it failed completely, right? And Dirk Kuyt was there and Alonso was there, and I literally was going to kill one of them. So I picked Dirk. And as I went through, it was the best jump you've ever seen. He jumped like that, like a scissors. And I went like through his legs and then back out onto the track. And I didn't know what to do. So in hindsight, what someone said to me afterwards was, why didn't you just take your foot off the accelerator and just like cruise to a stop? I decided to keep my foot on the accelerator and then James Bond style dive out of it and then leg it off onto the grass bit. But then the car just zoomed off into the side, hit like a bale of hay, and then like some fire came out of it. I had scratches all over me and I was in bits, and I walked back to the sort of pits past Sammy Hoopier and a few of the lads.
Imagine Hoopier's face.
Yeah. And Rafa looked at me like, you idiot.
Two things with this then. Is Rafa, whilst you're doing go-karting, sort of on the side, like
he's
a
watching.
dad watching you all?
Yeah, he's just like cheering us on, yeah.
He's doing, what he's offering you is probably very detailed race tactics.
Yeah.
I love the idea of Benítez standing on the side of a go-kart track like a manager would. Like, hasn't gone and got involved in the go-kart.
No, he wasn't.
He's on the side.
He's got one of those Formula One style headsets on as well, hasn't he? Like with the ear protectors and a little microphone in front of his face.
Yeah, but my excuse for go-karting was like, you know, I'm big, that's why I don't win, because I'm not quick, you know. And then Sammy Hoopier was incredible, and he's like 6'4".
Well, he's Finnish.
Wow.
Think about the Finnish heritage of rally drivers. Did Carragher tell everyone what to do?
He was just a bit ruthless, like trying to barge people off the track and stuff.
But he's the kind of person that goes to yellow. He's still going at top speed.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah.
Like, he's overtaking when you're not really meant to be overtaking.
Well, Raf was fuming. I mean, he wouldn't even look at me. And I said, well, I promise you, it wasn't my fault. The brakes just failed. And fella went out and tested the brakes, went out, took it round for a lap, and came in and went, yep, brakes had gone.
So he had to report to Benítez.
Yeah,
that you
to
weren't
say
lying.
that I wasn't, you know, I genuinely was a fault. Yeah, my brakes had gone, but I mean, it could have been a hell of a lot worse.
And what was Dirk saying about it?
Well, Dirk, I think he understood why I didn't take Alonso out. One of the funny things I see was when Fowler was going the wrong way around the track. Well, of course everyone was racing.
How's that happen?
And the fellow, you know, when all the flags are out, there's green, they're all out. And he was just carried on. And it was like, Mr. Fowler, please come in. And he was just
Wrong way.
He's just going the wrong way around the track. Yeah, it's so dangerous, but very funny.
Chris, the way that Crouchy has described these overseas Champions League trips, you end up in some strange place that you wouldn't deliberately go to. You'd never actively choose to go there, and then you find yourself there. So when you get there, Crouchy, what are the hotels like?
You can't complain, but they're all very similar. And also, we take our own chef over there, you know, so...
Oh, it's ultimate Brits abroad then?
Yeah, it is.
We like what we like.
We haven't got time to adjust.
Do you have proper tea bags here?
I just like to go abroad somewhere hot, but, you know, I like the food that I like.
Well, it is, yeah. I mean, we a lot of the time we stay on our own time, you know, like we just
you keep your watches on British time?
acclimatise at all. Because you haven't got time.
Like, it's unreal.
What? You
just stick to your own time.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, it's literally our own little world, because we've flown from a private terminal, we've got on a private bus on the tarmac, we've gone straight to a hotel. We could be at, like, Tranmere.
Yeah, but then you're playing... But then kick-off for the game the next day is at, what, like midnight for you? And that must feel weird.
No, because obviously, if you're playing a Champions League game, it's only an hour or two. It's not a big swing. I'm talking about when you're playing sort of like when we went to Japan for the World Club Championship. Me and Steve Finnan were playing Mario Kart at 3 a.m. because we just couldn't sleep. So it was such a tough sort of adjustment. But yeah, I mean, there are times where you fly into a place and like if it's an hour or two difference, you just don't change because you try and keep it to like a home game. Like a home game is a home game because nothing really changes and you're used to it. And so yeah, you just keep it as easy as you can. You eat the food that you're used to. There's no change.
I love it.
Let's say you're in Lithuania. You get on the bus or the coach from the hotel to the ground. It always seems to be a branded coach. Is that a Lithuanian coach that's been transformed like Cinderella and the pumpkin and into a Liverpool coach for the day? Or is it a coach that's come over from Liverpool all the way to Lithuania just to take you to the ground?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I've played for clubs where their bus driver will leave a few days before and meet us off the plane.
Why? Because it would freak you out to get a different bus driver?
No, but everything is geared up.
We like to look after our own.
As it would be at home. Do you know what I mean? Everything is geared up for you to be as comfortable as possible to win the game.
Europe isn't that different. I mean,
no, I'm talking about what Kazakhstan is in.
He doesn't want the snails and everything.
That's an 8-hour flight. I mean, that was a bizarre scenario.
Why did Kazakhstan freak you out, Crouchy?
I just felt it's very, very well. It's 8-hour flight, for instance, and it's supposed to still be in Europe. I don't know. I mean, it's close to China. When I landed,
close to China.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It borders China, Crouchy. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it because, I mean, I would never have gone to Kazakhstan in my life, and I feel like it's great that I did. And when we drove from the airport, and there was nothing apart from forests either side, and then we got to like what was the city, but a real bizarre sort of experience.
I struggle to imagine that footballers research what adapter they're going to need to take to a Champions League country. I can see you all turning up with your iPods and your iPads, and then no one can plug them in.
So the kit man, he will bring 25 adapters.
The kit man will bring 25
There's
adapters.
no footballer has ever thought of an adapter when he considers that, he may be flying, but his passport's been taken care of. We don't know where we're going. We don't know what plug socket is. So yeah, those things are taken care of.
That's amazing, Chris. So a kit man, he's not just looking after the boots, the shirts, the shorts, the towels, the tracksuit tops, the warm-up bibs. He's bringing different adapters.
Yeah, and it's funny to imagine that for the amount of money that you're getting paid and everything, that you can't think to sort of pack your own bag.
What do you mean?
You pack what you want to wear.
Or is it all official club stuff?
No, I mean, you don't, do you? No.
You don't even have a suitcase.
Bag.
You'd have your tracksuit, wouldn't you, that you wear?
No, but right, you leave the house.
Just in the clothes you're wearing?
No, you take what you want. Like, it's usually iPad, wash bag, club suit, maybe.
But do you have any carry-on luggage? Any suitcases?
Why would you need any luggage? You're not going out to the visit anywhere, are you? You've got your tracksuit, possibly the club suit you wear to the match.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
But this doesn't get it, does he? Like what? So what?
What would you need?
Well, you
tell me.
Your stuff.
I would assume that you have a little.
I'm not doing
suitcase.
anything apart from training, travelling, and playing.
Does someone else?
Why would I need? I wouldn't need like Speedos.
Do you pack your own pants?
I'd have 2 pairs of pants.
Match day
possibly
pants or
just the one.
Your kit man brings your pants.
Well, he brings the pants that I would wear in training on the Friday. Or say the Champions.
Is this a lie?
Say the Champions game is a Tuesday. I'll wear my pants from home. I will train, and I will get a fresh pair of pants in my training kit.
So in the kit, when it's laid out,
choose your pants. Like most of us have got pants we like.
This is
wear,
amazing.
No,
so he
but
sizes you all up and gives you a pair of pants.
We all have pants in our kit.
Do you not see how
Why is this not normal? Why is
special pants? Do you like a certain brand of pants?
Sloggies.
Is it one pair a day?
No,
is this a wind-up?
So we'll train we'll train our training kit in the pants that he's provided with the kit. The next day, we might have some leisure wear that's been provided for us with some more pants.
Is this a wind-up?
I could go away in Europe for a Champions League fixture and bring nothing.
But when I see a football team watching Champions League, right?
Yeah.
They're all wearing the same pants.
Yeah, for the match, yeah.
What? And that's someone's job there.
Well, no, it's a kit man.
Are you allowed to choose the style of the pants that you have?
These days, bizarrely enough, like it's always been. However, I've always known that you just wear your pants that's been provided, like ball stranglers. But nowadays, like I see the odd player wearing their own pants. I think that's bizarre.
What do you mean you see the odd? Oh, in the sorry, yeah.
You know they wear like their own
changing room.
So they're considered like a maverick freak.
I think it's nuts. Yeah.
Maybe they feel more comfortable in a looser cut.
I can't believe that this Champions League podcast has been hijacked by pants, but we are discussing it. There are players, yeah, 100%. I remember Djibril Cissé, for instance, had his own Club 9 pants that he provided in the change room. For a lot of the French players used to wear them.
They'd all wear his pants?
They would wear his pants, yeah. So he'd bring them in, throw them all in the middle, and a lot of the... No,
right, so he bought his own pants with him, right?
Because he had his own fashion label.
He had a label. I see the odd maverick wearing their own pants and stuff. Stephen Ireland used to wear his own pants. I reckon Paul Pogba's got some sort of pant label going on.
He's got his own, the Pogba pant.
Everyone else will have the club issue pants.
When did this start becoming normal for you that you got your pants given to you before a game? Because as long as I've done Sunday League, our manager was never in there giving all the boys pants.
Okay, so I was an associated schoolboy at Tottenham Hotspur when I was 14. I'm 38 now, that's 24 years ago. I've never worn my own pants in a football match. Let me just say this, right? You will not get one footballer who doesn't think this.
It takes it to a whole new level for me that you don't even sort your own pants.
Yeah, but we saw our own pants to and from the game.
Oh, big wow.
What heroes?
Like it's tough.
Are you wearing club pants right now?
No, I'm not.
Does it feel weird that you've had to choose your own pants?
No, because what I do, I go in to training.
Why not bring two pairs?
Well, yeah, I could do that.
You could do that.
But there's a kit man that provides it, so I don't.
What did you expect George, the producer here, to give you some?
Well, I was a bit perturbed when I wasn't provided pants.
That Peter Crouch podcast from BBC 5 Live.
Right, well, I can't actually believe that this Champions League podcast has been degraded to talking about pants. But thanks for that, lads. So, Tom, I've heard you've got something very exciting for us. Is that correct?
So, do you remember a few episodes ago, I referenced the fact, Chris, that I'll sometimes get sent tweets meant for Tom Ford, the very high-profile and successful fashion designer. And we talked about how Tom Ford sounded like a rip-off, like the sort of thing you might find on Harlow Market. Well, I've been sent from what I will describe as one of Britain's top perfume houses, my own range of scents. Listen, I'm gonna spray one without wanting to do a full Biker Grove and blind you, Crouchy. Get a whiff of this.
Oh, yeah.
Does that sum up me in a scent? What notes are you getting there?
Do you know what that's reminding me of? Like I used to go and watch my dad play Sunday League football. You know, when you go into the dressing room, there's aftershave and Tiger Balm, and like Deep Heat and Lynx. That's what I'm getting.
So on the front of it says anti-Carl protection.
Everyone needs that.
Look at this, with notes of fresh grass, bicycle kicks, and a hint of the Samrat.
The hint of Samrat.
Yeah, the funny thing is, the day after Samrat, all my clothes very much smelt of a hint of Samrat. They really did for a couple of days.
You are doing very, very well at the freebies. You got sent a load of Bovril.
Well, how come Tom gets all the freebies?
He gets it all.
Part of this set, Crouchy, we've got your face on some shower gel. Do you want to have a little sniff? Hang on, let me open it up. Does that smell as you'd like to smell? Is that you?
Tell you what, that's fantastic, that.
There's always someone, isn't there, when you're at school, there's someone who's at 16 discovers aftershave, and they don't realise that it's meant to be quite lightly applied, and they bathe themselves in it.
Yeah, do you know, for me, like, I never really wore aftershave, ever.
Do you not wear it now?
Like, not really, no.
Do you prefer the natural scent of a man?
Scent of a man.
That sounds like...
Which could be an
advert.
aftershave in itself, couldn't it?
My missus actually prefers me to wear aftershave. I do wear it now, but I just saying, when I was before, I was like, nah,
Abby wants you to wear a scent, Crouchy. Where do you stand, and this is an issue, Chris, I think, for a lot of people when they start living with their partner, where do you stand on locking or not locking the bathroom door?
Yeah, no, it's never had a lock on it.
So So she can come in when whatever you're doing in the bathroom, you allow her to come in.
Well,
This Champions League episode.
everyone needs a bit of me time.
We've had some cracking ways that people have been passing the pod. Crouchy, why don't you do this one?
This is Freddie. I've recently started a new job as a tour guide on one of the open-top buses in London, and I've been passing the pod to everyone on the bus. Every day I speak to at least 150 people from all over the world, always missing out on the biggest sights in the process. In all honesty, I think they'd appreciate that more than, where a cathedral's built. When they put those earphones in and just go around London, I think they should probably just listen to the pod and just look at the sights.
I've got a lot of respect for this guy. Freddie, I'm working out how we can help you. It feels to me that you're doing a lot for the podcast. It feels the podcast should support you in your efforts. Perhaps, Crouchy, you should go and do one of his open-top tours and, do the sightseeing for him. In fact, Tom, I reckon you'd be a fantastic tour guide. You know everything.
You would be good.
You know everything. You've got the patter.
Maybe
let's make it happen.
Well.
Do you know what I like, Chris? When a team, an amateur team, wins a trophy, but a trophy that no one cares about, and they take it on a London open-top bus ride, and they wave whatever is the Wimbledon District League trophy to hundreds of completely baffled Japanese tourists.
but celebrate like it's the FA Cup.
Exactly,
yeah, I love that.
That's a bizarre thing, that open-top bus, isn't it?
You've done it. You did it.
Yeah,
at Liverpool, did you?
but it's crazy.
Does everyone have to wear sunglasses because you've basically done a flint off?
Well, everyone's hammered, aren't they? Yeah. So I've got some great photos of the FA Cup one that we won. That was good fun. Good day.
Do you think we need a special Crouch-specific one? So, forget St Paul's Cathedral or the Houses of Parliament, whatever it is, that we need an open-top bus tour that does a special Crouch loop of Ealing.
Well, I could definitely do that one.
An open-top bus around Ealing for the pod. Write that down.
Right. That's a good one,
We do need a topic for next week. Doesn't involve bathroom doors or pants. What should we do, boys?
Okay, all right. This is my little bit.
Yeah, this is your bit where you've got to figure out.
No, it's training grounds next week.
Okay.
I think, retiring is going to be difficult because the games are electric and being part of that is amazing. But the day-to-day sort of training ground activity where you, number one, have a laugh, do something that you love, the competitive edge is everything I've ever done, So that will be so difficult to replicate and something that I will miss when I do eventually hang up my boots.
I think it'll be interesting to get that insight from a fan's point of view as well, because you just don't really know what goes on in training ground. It might be very different to what I reckon a lot of people imagine.
That's
or
what
even
the routine is.
And
Fights and the arguments, it all comes out on the training ground.
Yeah. You're going to be honest, right?
So much. Yeah, of course. I don't think I've been pretty honest so far.
You have, yeah.
Right, I'm sold. That sounds like a blinder. Training grounds it is, yeah?
Yep, looking forward to that.
Lovely jubbly.
Back next week.
Back how?
We'll come back stronger next week.
That Peter Crouch podcast from BBC 5 Live.
BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.